Hello, and welcome to the 7th of the 8-part video series on how to create a mushroom house. Today, we will finalize our mushroom house and add small details like fireflies, a string of lights, some water and vines. You can of course add any additional assets to your liking. Let's get started. To begin, we are going to add some water. The placement should somewhat make sense where rainwater is creating a puddle. You can also add a waterfall or a creek running down from the tree trunk. Anything you want really. Add a new object and use the box mode with the spheric brush, using cyan blue-like colors from the color tab and a mix type of your liking to create a base for our water. Draw details based on the movement or stream direction of your water. Don't forget that you can always adjust the terrain if you want elements like the water to take up more space. Next, I would like to add a wooden beam so we can connect a string of lights from the house to the beam. To do this, I added a new object and used the box mode to create it with the usual brown wood color. When you are done with the wooden beam, you can change the pivot point for easier placement. To do this, go to the object properties and hit the minus button. Rotate the wooden beam to make it feel more improvised. To create a string of lights or fairy lights, we can add a plane with a bright color, like yellow. Place the yellow plane where you want to have the string, and draw with a black-gray how the string should hang from the mushroom house to the wooden beam. If you are satisfied with the result, we can delete the yellow color only by using the color lock function. By tapping the eraser twice, we activate the color lock, and by double tapping the yellow voxels, we delete them. Next, we are going to Material 2 and add the colored lights. Add some emission and choose the colors you like. Place more fairy lights like this if you want to. For the fireflies, add a new object and create a yellow cube like so. With the random texture mode activated, continue to delete voxels. Make sure to disable color lock. We can delete more by using box mode and kind of filter voxels this way. Don't forget to add emission, and maybe you want to add more variation to the fireflies yourself. Now for the vines, add a new object and make sure to use the green colors from the terrain. By using the freehand mode and the mix type of your choice to add various green values, draw on the mushroom house where you want them. You can also add them to the wooden beam. The final part of the video is going into presenting your work using the presenter view and using different shading models to determine your look. There are soft, hard and no shadows when rendering, choose one you like. And we can rotate the sun by moving 3 fingers horizontally. Let's go to the presenter view, located on the top left. When active, we see new buttons and options, like the timeline at the top of the screen. Here we can see the history of our scene by scrubbing or pressing the play button, By hitting the Restore View button, the view will follow the camera point of view. If you want to change the look and feel through colors and effects, we can tap the Render Settings button in the top left corner. By using the sliders at the top, we can change the background color. The 4 sliders below have influence over the color of the image. We can change the contrast, saturation, tint, and temperature. Vignetting and bloom settings are available here too, to add darkening or glow effects. There are also some fun experimental filters to pixelate or pointillize your voxels. If you do use these filters, know that shadow rendering is disabled. If we go back to the scene view, select our small mushroom and go into object mode, then return to the presenter view and play the timeline, we can see all of the adjustments we made per object. Keep in mind that voxelizing deletes the history of an object, if you want to preserve it. In the top right corner, there are options to record your scene, manually or with a 360 spin, or 360 spin counterclockwise. This will make a screen recording and save it to the Photos app. The other option is the augmented reality option to position your scene in the real world. And with this, I would like to end the tutorial and by congratulating you for completing it. Remember to access the documentation or use the info icon to learn or refresh your knowledge. I hope you had fun and feel confident to make your own projects with Voxel Max. For those who are interested, the last video will be about exporting our scene to Blender. This requires a computer with Blender installed, which is an open source and free to use program.